Good morning and welcome back to West Ham United for your first rendition of the West Ham Transfer News Show. I am aware that we're coming to you at different times every single day. However, we are going to bring you daily content and we're going to try our best to bring it to you as much as we possibly can. And we want to bring you really detailed information, detailed shows, etc. And that sometimes means that we have to come out early, and sometimes that means we have to come out late. Today's show is particularly about a transfer story, and I think it works better if you actually put it out closer to the time that you hear the story and you get enough information, etc. Also, we have to balance our work-life balance, our family life balance, etc. And I have several meetings throughout the day. However, I think it works to bring you the show today at this time. It is live, of course, so if you are watching, please keep the comments coming in. I can see more viewers coming in as we go along. So just keep the comments coming in, and it's really appreciative. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. So today's show, as you can see in the title, is related to Spartak Moscow midfielder Alex Kral. Let me get you a little cheeky image of the geezer. There he is there. Apparently, his representatives have spoken to 5 Premier League clubs over a potential transfer this summer, with West Ham understood to be one of those clubs. Kral is a Czech Republic teammate of course, Hammers duo Thomas Souček and Vladimir Coufal, and with all 3 named in the squad for the Euro 2020, where they're obviously in Group D alongside England, Scotland and Croatia. He's 23 years old and he's relaxed. Apparently, you know, he's quite relaxed about the situation, and the reason why he's relaxed about the situation is Spartak have made the final qualifying round for next season's Champions League. So there's no dead set that this is going to happen. And before I go deeper into it, it's just to give you some information on, we don't tell you that this is a player we're going to sign. When we see a link, we start to give you the information on the player and what it could look like and how he could fit in within the West Ham team. And we start to kind of try and put 2 and 2 together and work out, could we actually see this as a potential signing? So please bear with us when we do these shows. We try to give you as much detail as we possibly can. So he's reportedly came from a recommendation. I mean, listen, why would he not? From his Czech teammate, Thomas Souček, agent Souček. And as you can see here, they both played with each other at Slavia Prague. However, he hasn't always been a midfielder, this guy. Alex Kral. He originally started out as a defender and was pushed into midfield when it was evident of his footballing ability, and that started to become clear. Given the fact that he can play a number of different roles in midfield and also through defensively, he could probably slot, like I said, slot back into defence. He could be a great buy for any side that's looking to add a bit of both quality and depth in their squad, which West Ham are, of course, looking to do. Back in 2017, Kral was part of the Czech Republic squad that travelled to Georgia for the Under-19s European Championship finals. And his stellar performances saw him named in the team of the tournament alongside the likes of Ryan Sessegnon and Mason Mount. The Czech Republic made it through the group stages, having finished runners-up in Group A behind Portugal, though they were beaten 1-0 by eventual winners England at the semi-final stage. So something else about this player, and it's quite an interesting fact, is transfer fees in football, as you know, are a bit mad and people can end up paying double for a player just after a few impressive performances. But for a player's value to go from £800,000, which is what he signed for Slavia Prague, as you can see there, back in 2019 from his club Tbilisi. He then, where am I here? His transfer fee went, I mean, he's rumoured to be potentially valued at £20 million, and just in 8 months, he signed for Spartak Moscow for £12 million. So you can see a strong increase in valuation in only 8 months, and that's pretty impressive. But of course, he started off his career at Tbilisi, and oh God, I've got lost where I am here with this. Listen, Slavia Prague captured him from the Czech side to Tbilisi back in January 2019, and he made over 43 appearances for them, scoring 1 goal. And they sold him just after 8 months at the club, with Spartak Moscow paying, like I said, £12 million for the player. He only made for Slavia Prague 18 appearances before signing a 5-year contract with the Russian Premier League side. Spartak Moscow. He fits the mould of a classic, no-nonsense, robust central defensive midfielder, and having already played 18 times at international level, you can see how he would add experience despite only being 23 years old. He's known for being really comfortable in tight areas on the pitch, breaking up play and occasionally driving from defence into attack. The West Ham faithful would be hoping that Kral is brought in as a direct competition to Rice and Souček and not as a replacement. But listen, let's be realistic here. I certainly don't think that we're looking to bring a player in to be a replacement. But what we do need is strength and depth. And this player looks like he could add that strength and depth. We have to be mindful of the fact that Moyes is not going to be out there just spending 40-50 million pound willy-nilly. He's going to be looking at strong talent, and this player comes in abundance. So he doesn't score a lot of goals. I know Stell covered a bit of Alex Kral yesterday. He doesn't score a lot of goals in his career, but all his work he does in the midfield is really, really massively important. So he's also known for being comfortable in tight areas on the pitch, breaking up play and occasionally driving from defence into attack, like I said. Even though he's not registered a goal in the league for Spartak Moscow this season, Moyes could certainly be looking to add him in the aerial threat in the opposition box from set pieces, because he does like to get forward. He thrives on the big stage, helping Slavia win the league and knock out Sevilla from the Europa League in 2019. I think I've got an image from that game, actually. And if you actually look back at the goal, it's a crazy one. The ball literally just hits off him. He looks the wrong way, but it's gone back into the opposition's goal, and he scored a goal, and they won over two legs and knocked out Sevilla, who are the Europa League and UEFA League at the time kings, because they've won the tournament so many times. So he's got experience of playing in Europe as well. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He stands at 6'1", and he sometimes looks a little bit lightweight, but he has got a physical presence in midfield, and that in a similar way to his compatriot Thomas Souček. He's an elegant player, but he's really effective. He supports attacking play down Spartak's right wing and gets into some good positions. He brings quality to the final third, and he's got some good crossing. He's a powerful runner. He's provided 5 assists this season for Spartak, but he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't bring much of a goal threat. He receives the ball well. He's comfortable using both feet. He shows good awareness. His passing is decent, and he's able to progress the ball really well. He's been linked with moves all over the country since his move to Spartak Moscow in September 2019. Burnley at one point were rumoured to be trying to sign him. However, having represented his former club Slavia Prague at the start of the 1920 season, and then moving to Spartak Moscow in the same season, he'd already played for 2 clubs prior to Burnley's interest, meaning he wasn't eligible to play for a third team in one season. More often than not, football is not the case. What you know, but it's who you know. And West Ham will be quietly confident of landing this player. Why? Another reason why, he's represented by the agency called K2K, the same company that helped broker a deal with West Ham, which saw Coufal arrive at the London Stadium last year. Not only that West Ham have got a strong Czech contingency at the club with Coufal and Souček, so we could be in a good position to pursue this youngster. What do you think? I mean, sometimes you look at players and you think goals, assists, what can they do? And I know Stell touched on, if you think about what Declan Rice offers onto the park, it's everything else that Declan Rice offers, and it's not the assists and the goals. But we need strength in that position, because obviously Mark Noble's last season next year, and we need players to be able to cover the Thomas Souček and Declan Rice, but not just cover. If you think about the amount of games that West Ham are going to be playing, 6 Europa League games we're going to play, and that's that's not even including if we get through to the next round, and then they go into 2-legged rounds. Then you've got the League Cup and the FA Cup. So a lot of our squad is going to be utilised next season, and this is what's going to happen moving forward. But as you can see, I mean, listen, his value could be anything between 12 to 18 million, apparently, according to certain transfer market online. It's just depending on what you believe, but you've got a Czech international, and listen, we know the Czech history of what they produce, the conveyor belt of players that they have produced. So it'll be really interesting to see what your opinion is on Alex Kral. Let's bring it in. Robert Singleton, thank you very much. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Father Snowman, thank you very much. Reese Edwards, yo, good to see you. Dream Villas, Marbella San, Buenos Dias, and hope you are well. Stu77, thank you very much for joining us. James Bong, morning all stretches. Oh, don't get me going, mate. Hope you're all well. It's good to see what you're all chatting about to each other. Robert Singleton, should we get him? It would help with rotation in midfield. And that's the thing, that's the key element, Robert. It's all about the rotation, and we're going to be playing upwards of 50 odd games next season. So I think each player is going to find themselves playing 20 plus games in the whole season, and we're going to need strength and depth. And like I said, for maybe £15 million, do you trust in what Moyes can do? Absolutely. He finds gems, and this guy could be, I mean, it's not even like looking for a gem. This guy, yeah, okay, maybe goes under the radar because he doesn't score a lot of goals, but he does a lot of work, covers a lot of ground, and he's really, really clever in the ball and box to box midfielder. I've not seen Kral play, to be honest. I've watched a little bit of Europa League, so I did see Slavia Prague's performance back in 2019 against Seville. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, the only way I remember Kral was because of the goal that was scored. It was such a unique and odd goal that he scored for Slavia Prague. However, it makes you go back and look at some of the highlights of the game, and then what you start to realise is, oh, that's who that guy is. So we do a little bit more digging. We look at some scout reports and see what they're capable of doing. And as you say here, Gary Rutter, we do need a backup if Rice or Potato Salad get injured. Absolutely. When you say he's also a defender, are we talking centre-half or fullback or both? James Bong, he started off his career as a central defender. But the point of the matter is that once they realised he was really clever on the ball, they pushed him and proceeded him forward into the midfield. So he's predominantly a midfielder. However, you know, it's always good to have strength and depth in the squad with players that can cover several positions, especially if you get injuries and or suspensions. Apparently, he posted a scene of Rice and Lingard celebrating on Insta. What he actually did was he liked something, and what you can actually do is he never posted it. You can actually go onto people's Instagrams and see what they're up to, snooping around on their pages. Ross Cordell, we did, mate. I'm actually, funny you say that. I mean, I'm working today, but I've got 4 mugs to post today, and your top's going out today. So keep an eye on it. Ryan Vidra at Burnley, whose check might have been a reason for their interest that season. Burnley surely have no appeal to a young up-and-coming player like Kral, though. Yeah, I get that, but at the time, when they were interested in him, they had a bit of European football to play as well, so there was definitely an interest there. However, if Souček is offering, you know, advice on players and talent that they've got in those clubs, and he's done that once before with Coufal, and look how that's worked out, then I could potentially see how this could work out. I don't think this guy's going to come in and take over the position of Souček and Rice. However, we need strength and depth in that position. We absolutely do. If one of those players pull up injured or get a suspension, we're going to need someone who can step up to the case. And the Moyes' new way of thinking is this could be the guy. Clive Trevelling, morning Anton, any more news on the Lingard situation? We're going to keep that one under wrap. We don't really have a huge amount of more news. There's a little bit of news coming out saying that Manchester United and West Ham potentially are negotiations. But we'll just have to see. We've just got to have the faith in what they're going to do. He's very mobile and hard working, which is definitely needed, and he will complement the team, in my opinion. Absolutely, he will complement the team, because that's what Moyes wants: hard working players who come in and perform for the shirt. And he looks like he adds quality. I mean, he's 23 years old, a year older than Declan Rice. I mean, that's just following the regime that David Moyes wants to build at West Ham. Should we try to buy him before or after the Euros? That's the key question. For me, I'd like to get deals done nice and early, but I can't help but think that some managers want to wait till after the Euros to see if a player actually comes through unscathed. What are the chances that you purchase a player like Kral and then he goes into the tournament and he picks up a really bad injury? So I don't know if we'll see many deals done before, to be honest, because it's an opportunity for players to go and get their, you know, put their name in the shopping window if they want. And yes, it may add value to the player, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Gary Rutter, Anton Stell said you were buying the drinks for everyone when West Ham plays Celtic. Yeah, well, so listen, West Ham, like Stell mentioned yesterday, as it was confirmed, we are playing Celtic. I don't know what the rules are because we are ran quite strictly up in Scotland, so I don't know what's going to happen about that if fans are going to get in, etc. I'm going to try everything in my power, obviously, to go to the game and try and source where the players are staying. I've got a suspicion where I think they will, so hopefully we'll bring new content closer to July when we are playing Celtic. No worries. Thank you very much. Good question. I'd go early, as potentially lots more teams will be interested in him after. It's true, they will, but you know, sometimes you don't have luck on your side, and that's the problem. And that's my concern. I think the most is what happens if players don't pull through the Euros, and we've paid a bit of money to get it down. The talk about Tony seems to have died down. I think what we're going to have, Clive, is players left, right, and centre linked to the club, and you know, they've still got a championship final to play in, so nothing was ever going to get done until after that. But I really can't see Tony. It depends on the money, and it depends if Brentford want to sell their key man, because he's absolutely came in and nailed it on the head in the championship. Good to see they're sorting out an improved contract for Coufal. Well, I'm going to briefly talk about that just now, like now that you've mentioned him. And I know Stel covered a little bit of it yesterday, and I've brought the image that Stel used. 28 years old, right back, 34 appearances for West Ham, 7 assists, Czech Republic international appearances, 13 appearances and 2 goals. And it's in the chat is that West Ham are looking to improve his contract, and rightly so. He massively deserves it. What a player he's been for West Ham. And it's just amazing to see. What I'm going to do also is tell you about football prizes. So all you need to do is go over to the Football Prizes website, and you can be in with a chance of winning a signed Coufal replica top, authenticated as well. So all you need to do is go over to the Football Prizes website. You pay £4.95 to purchase a certain number, and you get a good chance of winning a Vladimir Coufal, potentially Hammer of the Year signed top. So what do you think then? I mean, I've gone through his career. He looks like a quality player. He looks intriguing. I think he'll add strong value to the squad, and I think it's someone that Moyes might have his eye on. And genuinely, I'll rate this potential link for West Ham. Now, like I said at the start, his representatives are apparently talking to 5 clubs. But when you think about his agency that's been represented by Coufal and Souček, you think about there's 2 of his mates that he's played with in his career at Slavia Prague, then you would be quietly confident that West Ham could get this deal over the line. So I am going to rate this one an 8 out of 10. I think we might actually get this deal over the line. And I'm going to say we're going to get him for about 15 million quid. And that's only 50 million to the budget, but we've covered that midfield area and then put the focus onto defence and our forward line. Anyway, that brings it into our transfer news show. We will be doing daily content, and any players that we're linked to, we'll try and put a show out on. It'll be sporadic times, but what we'll try and do is guarantee that we'll let you know maybe in the morning what time the show's going to go out, and we'll make sure that you get a notification at least half an hour before a show comes out. So thank you very much for being patient with us, and I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you've enjoyed the informative information that we are trying to give to you. Anyway, that brings it into the show. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And here we go. Yeah, I was wondering, Kevin, if they send your email ticket to your phone. No, I think they send you a confirmation to your phone of it. So I mean, I've purchased one before. I think it came up. It's not like a receipt. It's just like a thing that comes back to you. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, that brings it into the show today. Make sure you join us again for tomorrow for another either daily or transfer show. And thanks for watching. Come on, you Irons.